Hi, my name's Paul Grogan and welcome to the first in a series of gaming rules videos for Oathsworn Into the Deepwood, a 1 to 4 player cooperative campaign-driven fantasy game. Oathsworn blends a narrative-driven story together with rich miniature combat encounters. The game is set in the Deepwood, where a free company consisting of 4 Oathsworn fights for humanity's survival against unnatural horrors and the Deepwood itself. The full campaign takes place over a series of chapters, each consisting of a story part where the free company will travel to different locations within a city, followed by an encounter where the players must fight against fierce monsters and enemies. The story part should normally take about 30 to 45 minutes to play, and the encounter part up to a couple of hours, so you can get both parts of a chapter done in one game session. But this is not necessary. You could just play the story part in one session, save the game, pack it away, and then play the encounter another time. Or you could even play multiple chapters in one session if you have all day. As the campaign progresses, characters can gain additional bonuses, new ability cards, new items, and new allies. Before I start covering the details of the game, everything that you see here is a prototype, and everything that I tell you is correct at the time of filming this video. However, these videos have been created in advance of the Kickstarter campaign, so whilst the majority of rules will stay the same, there will possibly be some other changes in the final version of the game. The first thing to do at the start of a campaign is to generate the free company, the 4 Oathsworn characters who embark together on their quest. If you have 4 players, each player will take on the role of a main character. If there are fewer than 4 players, some players will play additional characters, which could either be another main character or a companion. Companions are still controlled by a player, but require less work to play them, so they may be of particular use to solo players, where you can play 1 main and 3 companions instead of having to control 4 main characters, but that's up to you. Included in the game are 6 Oathsworn. The Priest, a grizzled veteran who practices his oppressed faith in the shadows of the Deepwood. The Ranger, a refugee from the Witchwood, a hunter and tracker who grows her own arrows from her very own body. The Ursus Warbear, a nomad seeking worthy foes on the great hunt to earn a tale worthy enough to be carved on her armour. The Scar Tribe Exile, a feral survivor of a tribal feud who has fought for his life as long as he can remember. The Warden, a bastion of discipline, he protects the world from the malefice of witches by the power of his mantle armour and strength of arms. And the Witch, hated and feared for what she can do, she would be dead were her gifts not so useful for fighting the denizens of the Deepwood. Each main character starts with the following: an Oathsworn board, a character model, a character card, all of their starting ability cards which are unique to that character, and their starting equipment. The Oathsworn board is set up as follows. Coloured cubes are placed on your might track as depicted on your item cards, if any. A numbered token on your defense slot as depicted on your item cards. If you do not have any defense values on your items, you have a defense value of 1. A hit point die set to 6 and placed here. 8 animus gems and a numbered tracker token placed in the regen space according to whatever's shown on the character card. All characters start with 6. In the encounter, animus is spent to play cards and move across the map. Your regen value is how much animus you recover at the start of each round. And finally, 3 groats, the currency used in the game. A companion is set up in a similar way, but with only 2 animus gems and 3 archetype cards instead of the ability cards. Once you have your free company, you are ready to proceed to the story part of Chapter 1, which I will cover in the next video. But for this video, I'm going to time travel forward to the end of Chapter 1 and show you what happens next. So, hopefully you've successfully completed Chapter 1 and defeated your enemies. The epilogue at the end of each encounter will tell you exactly what steps to perform, but this is usually gaining some extra items to help the free company in their future adventures. However, life in the Deepwood is dangerous, and equipment often becomes damaged beyond repair with repeated use. Therefore, each character loses some of their equipped items at the end of each scenario. Characters also always level up, gaining new ability cards, combat tokens, and other upgrades. At the end of a game session, you can easily save your progress during the campaign by putting all of your things in your character bag, and things belonging to the free company into the free company bag. After you have completed all of the chapters of a campaign, there will be some kind of evaluation based on how many times the characters were knocked out. Although the game is designed to be challenging, there is no actual character death, Therefore, you can experience the story and keep progressing through the campaign. However, your characters may become injured, which will hinder you in some way. Unless, of course, you choose to play on hardcore mode, where if the whole party is knocked unconscious during an encounter, the campaign comes to an abrupt end. There are also other modes of play too. Challenge mode, where you bring the free company against a much tougher foe than they would normally be able to deal with. And Iron Man mode, where you play a series of back-to-back encounters without any opportunity to heal or rest in between. And that brings us to the end of this video. The next video in the series is all about the story part of the chapter. For more information about the game, please check out the Kickstarter page, which I will link to in the show notes below. And for more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care and thanks for watching. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.